There are roughly 80 million millionaires in the world, and the chances that you're one of them is probably next to zero, and I'm not one as well. But what we can do is acknowledge that money does help solve a lot of things, not everything, obviously, but we should always strive to improve the amount of income that we have because, we can do more fun stuff, we can help people out, we don't have to worry about a lot. And I think it's just in human nature to want to help other people and help yourself. And because we have made money like this kind of construct that we use as value, right? It's important to have a good, decent bit of it. So today I want to talk about, well, not necessarily how I plan to become a millionaire, but from what I know, and I'm not any millionaire or big guru guy that has a crap ton of money or does things that are like illegal or legal to gain money in any sort of way. But from what I know right now, I'm going to try to explain how I intend on going about becoming a millionaire. Because I think that's a goal that I've had set out for myself since I'm like a very scrappy building sort of person. I really like entrepreneurship. So it's like less than 1% of the global population is it. So let's try to aim for it, right? First thing is business. You will hear that basically any millionaire, unless they inherit it in some sort of way from people and they don't work for it. In general, any self-made millionaire does business, right? You exchange goods and services, or you provide something that is of value that somebody's willing to pay you money for, and that's kind of like the whole ordeal of business, right? You could also take it as making a connection with somebody to enable you to allow to have this business to function in some sort of way because it's not all that common that I don't know. Let's say you want to go into I don't know, air and space defense systems. Government probably isn't going to allow you to do that. So the business of being able to connect with other people is very important. But I think like the main thing at the end of the day is basically like you need to solve someone's problem, and I don't think I have to tell you that. But solving somebody's problem is how you get people to pay for it. The reason that you pay the guy next door that's like I don't know 16 or something because he's trying to hustle to get some money by cutting your lawn is because he's solving your problem of cutting your lawn because you don't want to do it because you're lazy. That's fine. All right, cool. Um, and business does not have to be all of these sort of like big lingo words and stuff like selling courses. I don't know, AI, whatever it is. There are boring necessities in life. There's a guy that I watched recently. He does porta potties in LA, and there's a lot of construction stuff happening there. A lot of high rises, buildings, whatever it may be, and porta potties are needed. And he makes like 4.3 million, let alone in California, but still that's a good amount of money for a guy to be able to do this sort of boring business that is kind of like a necessity in the world, right? Um, so yeah, hands off is basically like the end goal, right? You hear this about financial freedom and stuff like that. Obviously, that is like the end goal, but to be hands off and allow money to flow and for you to enable yourself to do whatever it is that you want to do, right? That is the end goal, but for me, I think like the end goal is more so like being hands off and doing something else on top of this being because I don't want to be like bored and stuff when if I'm older and stuff. Um, I want to do like something impactful, right? So an example that I want to give is there's two different types of like businesses and ways that you can approach it. So, right, we have LeBron James, for example. He does business with the NBA. He sells products for his personal brand. He collaborates with businesses online, and then he also has his personal investment because he has the first two in this example. He can enable the third one, and now it's all about his personal investment because he gets paid. It snowballs from here, all of these three funnels that he has. Now personally he can take what he uses from that and invest it in whatever else he wants because you don't want to have only one sort of like income stream, right? You want to have multiple, or you want to enable yourself to diversify, right? You always hear that term, especially like in investing, right? In businesses you want to invest in different sort of ways that you can earn money or whatever you think has the most potential for the return on investment, right? But that is like an example. Yeah, he has a natural talent, so he's enabling himself in the sport to make money to make a personal investment for a business, right? Where you have Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk, LeBron, probably owns companies or have franchises or something like that. But the difference between him and Elon Musk is, Elon Musk he owns multiple companies. He provides services in various different areas. So now it's not just about enabling yourself to become involved in a business. You are owning the business itself that is providing services, and then obviously like that, like he can go lobby in the government because he's in these sort of particular sectors, and then he also has this personal investment that he can make. The thing with Elon Musk though is that he has such a big presence because of the services and things that he provides that he's allowed to basically shape the market. That it's not a coincidence by like any means that he was involved in the government in some sort of way because of his companies, right? Powerful stuff that he's doing. But in any case, he shapes the markets by doing that, and so that's pretty important. So the differences between the two, essentially, like you can enable your innate talent for something to build, I guess, your presence to be able to have like a personal investment snowball. You have business with the NBA, business with all these sort of companies just by yourself. It's not like you're not necessarily providing any sort of services. You're just providing your presence, right? Because you're a figure, right? Whereas Elon, he actually like owns the companies, but his presence also influences. So it's kind of like two big differences between people that have a lot of influence, right, in business, and so that's pretty important. The second thing is investments. I think a lot of people do investments, at least among our generation. I think a lot of people are starting to invest, and a lot of people are being more frugal, which is pretty good. I like this meme here. It's like it's free real estate. I remember that. That was super good. Um, you want to typically, and I'm not. This is not financial advice. I think I have to say that for some reason. I'm gonna look it up later. But you want to invest 20 to 30% of your income each month. And this is easier said than done, right? A lot of the times we just kind of like spend everything, be flat broke or like break even, they call it, right? That you go break even on every month, you just go month to month, and it's really hard to break out of that cycle. The issue is that when people work a 9 to 5 or people work a job, they don't necessarily use all the other time to possibly improve upon their situation. They kind of just work and go through this cycle and wait for something. Waiting for something is not like the worst thing that you can do, right? You want to enable yourself to consistently put yourself in a better position, um, from the day before as you go into the next day, right? And some might argue, okay, sure, I'm working every single day and I'm, working hard at work. And so that could possibly give me the opportunity to climb up the ranks or give me another opportunity. But what are you doing at the end of the day with that? You are waiting for something. You are putting in consistent effort and waiting over time for something to happen from somebody else, right? The higher up, they're like, okay, cool, promote that guy, right? So that's not really like you want to do something yourself. You want to own something. You want to have ownership of it, right? And so that's the difference, I would say, or I would argue basically. You want to become an expert in one area. So, for instance, if you like tech or you like healthcare or something like that, become an expert in that area and consistently learn about it, right? I don't know, like an example, like a lot of kids like they want high frequency trading or day trading or swing trading or any sort of trading and stuff like that. Okay, sure. If I'm not going to comment about it, but if you want to learn that, continuously learn that skill set and become an expert in it. Because once you are an expert in it, and you know for a fact that I could do really good at this, or I have an innate talent for this, um, it becomes a lot more of an investment in yourself rather than an investment, figuratively like with money and stuff. And so there are a lot of different things that you can do. I won't cover it in this video, but there's high yield savings accounts, their brokerage accounts, your Roth accounts. Offshore banking is when you start to get, if you start to get into areas where you can get tax write-ups or, shady stuff maybe sometimes. But yeah, just be smart about it and look into everything that you don't know or find out about it, right? That's what investments are. Like, I did not know half of these terms or what they mean or how they could possibly help me like 2 or 3 years ago. And then I entered college and I'm just like, okay, I need to figure something out. So, yeah, that's what basically investments are. I think okay, this is kind of like an improvement map that I kind of drew out. So I was looking through everything and I was like, what is the main way that I can map out all of the things I need to do to hopefully become a millionaire, right? And so the first thing I think it starts with is one is motivation, having the motivation to want to consistently improve and become a millionaire, right? Or having like the intrinsic motivation to want to achieve a certain goal so bad and so much more than anyone else around you. Um, and it's a lot harder than people think. It's one thing to say something, but it's another thing to do it. And I've said this repeatedly throughout my videos because it's true, right? I could say I want to become a millionaire tomorrow. I know that's not realistically achievable, but if I act upon it right now, maybe a couple years down the line, it might be right. So yeah, I think the first thing comes motivation. The second thing that comes is learning, right? What do I need to develop or what do I need to do in order to enable myself to have a business, to invest, to meet different people, right? So that's the second step, I think is like the most important step is probably learning because once you learn, you can it doesn't matter how many times you fail in any one of these categories or things that go right or things that go wrong because you already know about it and you learn about it consistently, right? Once you're past this point, I think it's just literally about enabling like or just being motivated continuously throughout this process, no matter how shitty it is, and not giving up, and also just believing and liking the thing that you do is probably important, right? So you have a business, you have all these sort of aspects that encompass them, and then you need to make smart decisions within them. So a lot of that comes with risk. Sometimes it comes with meeting the right people. Sometimes it comes with the right investments that allow you to invest back into the sort of loop, either in your learning, the people that you want to meet, business. But what I think is important is that your business should almost be entirely separate from your personal life. You might have an interest in this business that you're making. For instance, Elon Musk, he probably enjoys the thing that he does, with rockets and space and stuff. That's good, but I would not advise, or I don't think it's a good idea to mingle your personal life with your work. I think those are two separate things. That's just my personal opinion. I don't like mixing the two. So yeah, but with your personal life, you need to have these sort of characteristics, I would say. I would call them like the mindset of whatever it may be to consistently improve in any of these three areas. Being frugal with your spending, it's not every day that like you're going to make $30,000 and then 25,000 of it goes back into the company and then 5,000 of it, oh, I just blew it all on blackjack or something at the casino, right? You need to be frugal with your spending and live below your means. And improvement is just consistently improving every day in whatever area this may be. So yeah, that's kind of how I think about it. Um, yeah, at the end of the day, it's kind of just be smart and play the game, right? Make rational decisions about your finances. If your friend says, "Hey, I'm gonna go eat hot pot this weekend," it's like $40, and you're like, "Man, I just got paid. I can probably go." No, you can turn down, a couple little dinner dates with the boys or something like that. It's not gonna be the end of the fucking world, right? You want to set these sort of like reasonable goals to improve every single day. So I would recommend doing a to-do list. To-do list, I just write down on a notepad or on my phone, like Notes app. Every single day, I have to do that. From this time to this time, or every single day, I need to, I don't know, learn a language, go to the gym, cook. Like you might think that these like small little things don't matter, but they kind of do at the end of the day. And when you set yourself for a goal, specifically only focus on the goal. Obviously, you can improve in different areas, but what I think a lot of people do, and from what I see, it's like all of these sort of like productivity hacks. Like this is absolute bullshit. I don't care. You're not dunking your face into ice cold Saratoga water, getting up meditating at 5 a.m. All this sort of stuff. Like you don't need to do all that. Like if I say I'm going to make $100 tomorrow. I might be able to do that simply by just going to work. If I don't have a job, maybe I have to go do some surveys online or some shit like that, right? Do those goals every single day and only focus on that goal for a certain period of time during that day, because that is how you get it accomplished. It's not, oh, I have 5 things on my list. I can always move it to the next day. No, you should try to get it done that day. And don't play in a core outside of your league, right? Live below your means. Like, don't go lease out that damn, I don't know, Mercedes AMG car if you know you reasonably can't afford it because you want to get this girl that you don't even know if she's interested in you or something like that. I don't know, niche examples. Yeah, like I give that example here. That's crazy. Um, yeah, buying an expensive car and apartment. Like if your friends, they're always going out to eat every single weekend, and they're broke or they're not. People who have the same aligned mindset as you. I mean, I said, in previous videos, right? It's okay to have friends that um, you like to be around. They are fun. They're everything, to you, right? You have been friends since childhood. You get along with them well. But those sort of people and the people who have like a correct mindset that is aligned with yours to consistently improve is totally different, right? Refusing a job opportunity that is better, if it makes more, is it better for, I don't know, if you have a family or something like that, it's probably a better choice. Finish your daily tasks, going out to eat when you get, like, these are all very small initial examples that really add up. So yeah, that's kind of like what I wanted to talk about today. A lot of mindset stuff, a lot of business and investment stuff. Just a lot of things that are on my mind.